And welcome back to North of the Broad. Brent Stewart has joined us once again. As you know, he's a founding attorney with Stewart Law Offices, and we're going to continue our discussion today on workman's comp, which is a very complicated process, and that's why we come to folks like you to help us understand. And I'm just going to start with this question. Who picks the medical treatment provider if you fall or you get injured on the job?
Well, I think we've discussed this before, and it's really important to understand that you do not have the right to pick your doctor if you get hurt on the job. And it might not even be your employer, it's the insurance company. And often, while they pick your doctor, they'll also, with kind of more serious cases, send what's called a nurse case manager, and they'll help pick the doctors and kind of drive your treatment all the way through. People always say, hey, listen, I love my nurse case manager. She's being great to me. I love her, and I just tell her everything. And that's when I kind of pull them back and say, the first thing I do with a nurse case manager is send a letter out saying they cannot go into the medical appointment with you. They will actually go into the appointment with you. And while they're supposed to be a neutral party, I found that on occasion, these nurse case managers who are paid by the insurance companies might not be as neutral as you think. So I think it's important to limit your conversations with them, and if you have a personal injury lawyer, they should do that for you.
Right, so then how do you, the personal injury lawyer, work with the insurance companies?
So, well, once we get involved, if we file the case, then it'll go to an attorney, and we can only talk to the attorney, and then the defense attorney, the attorney for the insurance company, will talk straight to the insurance carrier. The rehab nurse is a different story. We can talk to them. I like to, when there's a rehab nurse, go to several appointments with the rehab nurse and kind of get a feel for her to see if I trust what she's doing. I don't let them go into the appointment with my client. I just don't think that's healthy, and I don't think it encourages free communication when an injured person's in there with a doctor. They need to be in there with a doctor. I don't think a third party facilitates much at all and kind of closes down the doctor-patient relationship.
Wonder if I come to you as my attorney and I say, I really want my own doctor. My doctor knows me. Can't I just have my own doctor?
And I will say, no, I understand what you want, but you cannot have your own doctor. At the end, if we get to the end and you feel like that you haven't received the treatment that you needed, or you don't feel like you're as good as you're going to get, we can send you to a second opinion. It might not be your doctor. It may be, because you have to have a doctor that matches the insurance company doctor. So if you have a knee replacement, you're not happy with it with the orthopedic, we can send you to another orthopedic that will give us another opinion and lay out a whole other scenario of what you might need into the future, so we can make sure that we have both medical plans evaluated. Then we will try to work out a settlement with the insurance company or the lawyer, depending on the case. And if that doesn't work, we go in front of the commission and they will make a ruling. And then if we don't like that, we can appeal it. It can go on, but you cannot pick your doctor, but you are entitled to second opinions.
Anything else that we need to know about workman's comp and the whole medical piece of that?
Well, I just think the main thing to remember is everything's a business. My company's a business, the insurance company's a business. So when you give a statement to the insurance company, their bottom line comes in play to some degree. So I think it's always good to have a personal injury lawyer or somebody there to help you out to make sure that you say the appropriate things and nothing that you say can be used to hurt you. And that's why it's better often to contact somebody before you have a problem than after.
Right, so you mentioned making a statement. So you would help, if I was going to make a statement, you would help me to exactly message what I need to say or not say.
I don't let my clients, once we have a relationship together, make a statement on their own, whether it's a car wreck or workers' comp. And often I won't even let them give a statement if it's not required legally, because all they're going to have is something else to pit you against later. Like, the more statements you give,
and they could change.
Well, it's not that they can change, but like, my job is that if you testify twice, my job is to go through and find where you're what sounds inconsistent, or make you sound inconsistent, even if it's not. So I think it's better that if you have a lawyer or you're in a statement, you have somebody there with you, and if nothing else, they follow the whole procedure and make sure that everything works as good for you as it can.
There's so many different steps. And so your attorney, and will I stay with the same attorney during the whole process?
In our firm, you do. But if you end up not liking the attorney, we can always change to somebody else. Sometimes personalities just clash, and that's more of a personal thing
But that's
than a legal
important.
thing.
I like that.
But the important thing there is, and I keep telling everybody, like they'll be like, well, they didn't return my call for 2 months or 3 months. If you don't call me, I can't fix it. But if you give me a call 866-STUART, ask for Brent, tell me what your problem is. If it's a staff member, I'll fix it. If it's me, I'll fix that too. Like, I'm not immune from making mistakes. So communication with your attorney is critical, and don't be afraid to give negative criticism, because that makes the whole process better.
Very good. The personal approach. Very good.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Brent Stewart. And we'll be right back with more North of the Broad. Don't go away.